Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Pratima. So if you've been following me, you might know that I've been a MacBook user for a few years now and I am quite satisfied with my M2 MacBook Air right now. But I've got to admit that Mac OS can be a pain sometimes for some people, so I'm always on the lookout for a Windows alternative. And one of the best options that I just found is this guy, the Lenovo Yoga 9i. It is priced at 1.5 lakhs in India for the 16512GB variant, which is in fact cheaper than the 15-inch M2 MacBook Air's 512 gigs variant. And unlike the MacBook, this thing is a 2-in-1 laptop, so you can fold it like this and use it as a tablet as well. And usually what happens with 2-in-1 laptops is that the build quality and the looks are kind of compromised. However, I'm quite surprised to see how extremely good looking and well built the Yoga 9i is. Unlike most other laptops, you're getting a curved form factor on this thing, which not only makes it look classy, but typing on it or using it for long hours is such a comfortable experience. The build quality is also quite robust, not even a single flex on the lid or on the keyboard or the hinge or anywhere else. The entire thing is made of aluminium and is extremely strong while being quite lightweight as well. Surprisingly, Lenovo has been able to fit quite a selection of ports on this thin and light machine too. The left side houses two Thunderbolt 4 ports and a USB Type-A port, while the right side has the combined audio jack, a standard USB-C port and a power button. I wished it had an HDMI port too. I also admire Lenovo's take on this hinge as well. They have utilized the 360-degree hinge very creatively to fit two tweeter speakers into it, while there are two woofers on the sides of this laptop. So no matter if you're using this laptop in the tablet mode or the normal mode, the audio quality you're getting here is amazing. And trust me, the Lenovo Yoga 9i speaker is even better than the M2 MacBook Air. Let me show you guys a demo. The Lenovo Yoga 9i impresses on the display front as well. My unit has a 2.8K 90Hz OLED display, and you can also get this laptop with a 4K screen, but it only refreshes at 60Hz, so I got myself the 2.8K variant. Anyway, this screen brings all the bells and whistles you might want from a high-end Ultrabook. The colors here are excellent, the contrast is on point, and it even has HDR support. I am pretty satisfied with its brightness levels too, at least in indoor settings. I found the maximum brightness to reach around 395 nits, which as it turns out is not very sufficient outdoors. But then again, I'm not someone who has to work outdoors a lot, so that was not an issue for me. And since this is an OLED panel, you can dim the entire screen or certain parts of it. For instance, when you have multiple windows on, the laptop can automatically dim the inactive one, so you can fully focus on the one you're working on. You can even dim the taskbar while you're not using it, but I found that to be a little distracting. Overall, I've had a great time interacting and watching content on the screen. Its 16:10 aspect ratio also makes it perfect for coding and writing blogs or things like that. It even has stylus support, which comes included inside the box, so you don't have to buy it separately. It's shaped like a pencil, only a little bit thicker, and it's quite easy to get used to. It's good enough for taking notes and adding annotations, but I found the latency to be a little bit high for artists, so it might not be the most ideal option for professional digital creators, but casual artists like me should be totally fine with it. The only complaint I have with this pen is that there is no way to store it within the laptop itself. I feel like if not inside the laptop, Lenovo should have at least figured out a way to attach it magnetically somewhere in the laptop so that it does not get misplaced. Okay, now talking about the trackpad and keyboard, this is where I missed my MacBook Air. Anybody who uses a MacBook knows how good its keyboard and trackpad are. Here, the Lenovo Yoga 9i's keyboard is not bad per se. I like its soft feedback and the keys are spaced out really well, but it just misses the depth while typing on it somehow. The trackpad is also fine. It's responsive, gestures and everything work fine here, but again, in comparison, it is not as good as the MacBook. I do have to mention that Lenovo has added a few shortcuts in the keyboard which can come really handy, like with this button right here, which helps you change the audio profiles, where you can set different profiles for music, conference calls, games, and so on. There's also another button that lets you blur and unblur the background in video calls. Likewise, there is a dedicated button to choose the performance mode and toggle between light and dark modes too. The fingerprint sensor is also right there, and it's quite reliable too. But I didn't use it a lot because the Yoga 9i has Windows Hello support thanks to a dedicated IR sensor. And since this laptop has a flip to open feature just like the MacBooks, I found it more convenient using facial recognition as my go-to sign-in option. And now, while we're talking about things that are better on the MacBook, I would like to include the webcam too. I mean, both these laptops have a 1080p webcam, but MacBook's output is just sharper and better looking. But something that's handy on the Yoga 9i is this physical shutter button for privacy. And Lenovo even lets you change other video settings like auto framing, exposure, brightness, etc. from the Lenovo Vantage app. Okay, let's get to the performance side of things now. This is actually one of the areas I did not miss my MacBook at all. The Lenovo Yoga 9i comes with the latest Intel Core i7-1360P processor with 16GB of DDR5 RAM. This 13th Gen P-Series CPU has been in a number of Ultrabooks and 2-in-1 laptops this year, and it's a perfect middle ground between performance and power. I am someone who has to work with a lot of Chrome tabs, Word documents, a little bit of Photoshop with Spotify always running in the background, and this laptop held up really well to run all of those at once. The experience was pretty smooth with no noticeable lag or intense fan noise. I only heard the fans kicking in when I tried to push the machine with gaming, and even so, the sound was not noticeable in a standard office setting. Now, I know this laptop is not really meant for gaming and it does not have a dedicated GPU, but I did try playing some less demanding titles to check if it could handle it, and well, games like CSGO, Asphalt 9 and even FIFA 23 were indeed playable at the lowest graphics settings. So yeah, I was able to enjoy some games in between my work shenanigans. Lastly, its battery life is decent too. Now, you have to keep in mind that this is a 2-in-1 convertible laptop with a higher display resolution and higher refresh rate. But even so, I was able to get around like 5 to 6 hours of endurance on a single charge depending on the usage. While it is not close to the all-day battery life that I get with my MacBook Air, it's pretty solid as the laptop was always on the 90Hz mode and the brightness was on the higher side. Lenovo ships the Yoga 9i with a 65-watt AC adapter, and this laptop supports fast charging as well, so no complaints on that part. However, I feel like Lenovo could definitely slim down the charger a bit, and maybe they could have included something more modern looking than this traditional brick style charger. Okay, so overall, I had a great time using the Lenovo Yoga 9i. I love its refreshing design, its display is great, the audio is amazing, and its performance is awesome for an Ultrabook too. Of course, if you're someone who's used to using MacBooks, you might want a little bit more on the keyboard and trackpad side of things, but if you're someone looking for a Windows alternative to MacBooks or a complete 2-in-1 Ultrabook, this laptop is definitely one of the best options. So everyone, that was all about my review of the Lenovo Yoga 9i. So just a little disclaimer, this review unit was provided to us by our affiliate partner ITTI and will be returned after 1 month of use. And this video is not sponsored by Lenovo as well. Saying this, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be back in the next one.